my first shot at doing resin over a piece of art. I haven't done this yet. Nothing, not this type of art. So we'll see how this goes, right? I know how to do it, never done it though. Watched enough videos, I think. I don't know if this is going to work. I mean, I guess it will work. How couldn't it? But like I said, I've never actually done it, so we'll see what happens. I don't know how much I have to use or anything like that. Good thing it's not blurring out my paints. That would really bother the hell out of me. I've had that happen before, especially with you know, when you're using paint markers. I've had it happen where like I would use a glaze and that kind of glaze would be a little bit too much for it, and it would just rip up the paint marker. Thank God that's not happening. That would bother the hell out of me. All right, that was not enough. By a long shot, not enough. So I do have a feeling that once I figure this out and this becomes like a thing that I can do, that it's going to really alter the my artwork, just because, you know, resin is so fucking shiny that it looks awesome. So it kind of makes everything you do look really professional. There. See, my goal here is to get the top completely coated, and then once the top's completely coated, then I can worry about getting on the sides a little better. And the cool thing is, resin does self-level, so if I kind of miss something, it should work itself out as long as I'm close to it. I don't think I've missed anything on the surface here. I know several people have been asking about these cutouts. So this is the first one I'm finishing, is the skull here. And, you know, I'm gonna resin it tonight. It'll be finished, it'll be set by tomorrow pretty much. And I should probably be able to get you know, wire to hang, like hanging stuff on it by the following day. So I figure this thing will be done over the weekend, you know, like ready to go. So I'll be able to post proper photos, and I already got a couple people asking about it, so I mean, you know who you are, and you're gonna get first crack at it, in case anybody wants it. Cool thing is, the piece of wood I cut this from, I'll show you guys in maybe one of my stories or something. The piece of wood I cut this from was, so you know how, when you make a chair, you have to have a wood form to attach the cushion to, right? Well, and this is why I love Facebook and Craigslist. I found somebody who apparently they had purchased a warehouse not too far from the shop, like right up the street from the shop. And what they were doing is clearing out the remnants of what was left in this warehouse. And the cool thing is, what was primarily left were pallets. I mean like full pallets of these bottoms of these chairs. These chair form bases for the seat. And man, I completely filled my minivan with them to the point where like the minivan was weighed down. Like the back of the minivan was obviously like almost dragging. Like I filled it. I gave a bunch away. I painted a bunch, but I've been sitting on hundreds of these just pieces of wood for a couple years now. I've had a bunch of them in storage. They've been in my garage, like stacked in corners of my basement. It's kind of like, what do you do with that? What's really the point of it? So I couldn't figure out what to do with it. And it was just the other day, I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. And not only is it going well, I'm figuring out the process of cutting them a little better. I only cut out like 3, but I think I got some better ideas on how to approach the cutting on the next set. But that also means I have several hundred pieces of wood I now know what to do with. And while I'm trying to do a lot of different things, I'm also going to do a whole bunch of the same thing because, I tattoo. So we do the same thing over and over again anyway. So what I'm thinking is lots of skulls and zombie heads. I don't think that's quite it. I think there's a few spots that need a little more resin. Like I said, this is self-leveling, so if it's a little too much, it'll just even out while it dries. There. Making the donuts. Right there, bro. There you go, boss. There's that guy. Let's check him out a little. Oh man, this is glossy. Look at that shine. I can't wait to see this thing totally dried up. Yeah, that's my baby.